everybody. That's right. Welcome to 01 Time. We got a great show for you today. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're going to go over to Littlefield Grid, check out Stonehaven. Come on back here. We're going to have the owner of that grid sitting right over here. We're going to have a wonderful conversation. That conversation was so long yesterday that it was like an hour. But you know what? We've got about 10 minutes of really good stuff. But the rest of that show, you'll be able to see probably come this Saturday. That's right. So, let's get on over and take a look at this place. Teleporting into Littlefield Grid, the sim of Stonehaven. A grand English name. Beautiful. Just a beautiful building. Nice place to hang out with your friends. This countryside has got plenty of history to it. Large oak trees and elms. The large clock. Greetings, everybody, from Littlefield. That's right, Stonehaven, and we've got a great show for you today. Let's head on back over to my studios and talk with the owner of this grid. That's right, we've got Walter Balazic over there, and let's get started. And good morning, everybody. Coming to you from, of course, the top of the Space Needle over here at Atek Grid. We have the wonderful owner, Walter. I hope I say this right. Balazic? Did I say it right, or is it Baltic? How do you pronounce that, Walter?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, just say hi to everybody out here.
Walter's fine. I have no idea. It's an old SL name, and I have no idea how it's actually pronounced.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. I'll tell you what, then. I'm going to let people know about you. You are the grid owner of Littlefield Grid.
One of them, yes.
One of them. Oh, okay. You might want to speak up just a tad for me.
Okay. Actually, we have 5 owners in total. It's myself, Dirk Mathers, Ashton Nobilis, Cameron Darkstone, and Toy McBride.
Oh, my. The Fantastic Five. Is that what you guys call it? The Fantastic Five.
That's us.
Oh, my. So, hey, can you tell me, this is the standard question, can you tell me when you came into the world?
Well, I can tell you that Cameron, Toy, Dirk, and I have been involved since 2006. We came into Secondlife. And that's where we all met. We met Ashton Nobilis in OS Grid, actually. And I believe he's been involved since 2005. He actually predates us in Secondlife. So, he's been around a really, really long time. He did a lot of stuff there, and stuff that I was familiar with and didn't know was him until, we had gotten close with him. The bunch of us have been around since they open the door.
Yeah, now I believe I met Derek, right? Isn't he the little skinny avatar?
Yes, Derek is the guy with the beard. Yes.
Yeah, right. He's boy, you can definitely tell he does a lot of work over there because he's to the point. You know what I mean?
He's a very structured.
Yep.
He's basically our grid script genius, as it were. Any of the residents that need any scripting stuff done or need help implementing SL scripts as they're importing them in, he's the guy that they all go to. He's fantastic at that.
Tell me about that. I noticed you told me that when people come there and they're selling a product, you have a script that you give them so that item is protected or securely. How does that work?
Well, basically, besides the actual what we had in place was the security that comes with Open Simulator, which is an any file adjustment that allows you to denote what can and cannot be removed from the grid. The problem with that is in clothing, for example, you could wear a piece of clothing after you bought it and wear it back to your grid, and now you've got it. As long as you wore it with you. You couldn't take it out in your inventory, but if you had it on you, on your person, that was the failure of that way of securing that.
Oh, okay.
So we came up with a script basically that when you come to our grid, it checks to see if you're a hypergrid user or if you're one of our users against our database. And if you're one of our users, then it allows you to buy it. If you're not, it sends you a message and says, I'm sorry, the content is for grid members only, and tells you how to join the grid if you want to join the grid.
That's fantastic. Hey, so when did Littlefield start? When was the start date?
Well, the grid itself started in April of 2013. We're going to have our 2-year anniversary this April. We started out it actually started in SL. Dirk had a sim called Littlefield, and he ended up having to move from that sim because he was having some problems with some of the residents there that didn't get along with what he was doing. He was running a mall, et cetera, and some various other things that just didn't work out. So he moved to a place called Stonehaven, which is the place that you've come to see us a few times on the patio.
Yeah,
that's Stonehaven. That was originally Littlefield.
I love that name too because I get like really stoned and I go over there to Stonehaven and hang out. I smoke all this really great mesh marijuana and I got a bong from Tommy over at Third Rock. And,
there you go.
Yeah. I go over to Stonehaven and hang out.
It's they're all English. They're all English places. Matter of fact, we just had to explain this on the Hypergrid business site the other day because somebody wanted to play the devil's advocate and say that the word "little" in Littlefield is miscommunicated to people to mean that child avatars and children are permitted, which is the farthest from the truth because that's the opposite of our grid policy. We don't allow them at all.
Well,
if you confuse the word little in front of Littlefield to mean that it's child friendly, you got to screw loose. I'm sorry.
I believe
that's ridiculous.
That's quite an accomplished English name, if I'm correct.
Well, it is, and that's what I said. I said, look, it's named after an English village, and what do you think Washington came from? I said, when you see a Washington grid, does that mean that people wash things there? I mean, let's have a little bit of common sense about when you post things. But anyway, back to what your original question was, how long we've been around. We actually came to OS Grid first in 2012. And we had we had about 20% of what you see in Littlefield Grid in OS Grid. And we grew very fast there. We got a lot of people. We were renting regions to people. We had a lot of people in our group. We actually have still the largest, well, not anymore because OS Grid's down, but we have the largest group in OS Grid for communications and stuff like that, the Littlefield group. And it just got to be too big for OS Grid, really, is what it boiled down to. There was too much turmoil there. There was too much drama. And we decided we wanted to go out on our own and, support our people the way we wanted to support them. So after being there for about a year, we left and picked our content up. And
so, really, I'd like to touch on it. We know you guys are great grid operators, and you guys have one of the best technical grids, and we know Firestorm uses you as a test bed. Yeah. How did you get that started?
Well,
How did you get involved with Firestorm being a test bed for you guys?
Well, actually, what had happened was I contacted Jessica Lyon back when we were in OS Grid, and I knew Jessica already from Second Life because I had helped. I was part of the Firestorm beta team back in SL, and I contacted Jessica and said, "Hey, I notice you guys have some implementation in Open Simulator, but not a lot. So here's what I'm thinking. Why don't you come on over to Open Simulator? We will give you a sim. You can get a presence there, and that way, if you need testing done, you have a place where you can test, do whatever you want. We'll give you, whatever you need, whatever tools you need." And she agreed. Now, what happened there was the OS Grid administration, we'll just leave it at that, was not exactly friendly at all towards Firestorm, period. They were not interested in them being there. They didn't want them there. It wasn't that they didn't want them there. They didn't care whether they were there or not. Now, in my opinion, having a viewer that's actually going to be on Open Simulator testing their product to make sure it works was a very valuable asset. That's how I saw it. However, the administration of OS Grid didn't see it that way. They let one of their users grief the Firestorm sim. I went to the administration and said, we're trying to do work over here. I'm trying to get Firestorm involved in being closer and working closer with the OpenSim development team, and you're letting your users grief their sim. And basically it was Nebadon basically said, what do you want me to do about it? Nothing. And that was another one of those things where I finally said, you know what, we got to get off this grid. And we put our own grid together, and I called Jessica and I said, hey, listen, we're bailing out of OS Grid. We got to get out of there. They mistreat you guys, and she agrees. I mean, she was none too happy with the way OS Grid was treating Firestorm. It came up at the OpenSim conference that they were being mistreated. They're overlooked. And,
I tell you
it's not right, really.
I tell you what, I knew that we were going to have this talk today. So, before I got on this morning, I went ahead and pulled their latest code today and built it. By the way, Jessica, your latest commit today went in there, I believe, yesterday it went in with your latest 64-bit plugin for your WebKit. Still broken, kid. But don't worry about it. I get it to work because I rebuild it and do it my way. But that's okay. And I know what it is, but you know what? You guys got the best viewer out there. I'm going to tell you right now, I couldn't do this show without this viewer. I would have to go back and patch in, get rid of the lines over my head. I would have to do all kinds of stuff. The Firestorm viewer is probably, as far as I'm concerned, is the best interface viewer there is. It's got a ton of stuff, but I only need to use certain areas of the viewer, and
yes.
And you know what?
I
need everything to work in Linux for me, and that's what I do. And it's open source code. If you got a complaint, I stop complaining. I just grab the code and go do the best I can with it. And you know what? They do a great job. That's all I'm going to say is it's big. My God, it's 370 megabytes of code and art. Are you kidding me? It's huge.
You got to understand that viewer harkens all the way back to like the early Emerald, the Emerald viewer, and that's a long time ago for a third-party viewer. They are the oldest of I believe they're the oldest of the third-party viewers out there, and they just keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding. And as it is, what they add is a lot of it because of Second Life. Okay, now just recently, and we announced this on our we help run a G+ group with Firestorm called FS to OS, which is a Firestorm to OS open sim, community. So if you have questions for Firestorm, you want to talk to them directly, that's how you can do it. Okay. And, they just brought somebody in that came and changed the code, for, Open Simulator. So their viewer is going to work now, with, legacy baking, because that's what we all have here. Second Life has put an edict in place that legacy baking is to be taken out of the viewer for all third-party viewers. So their viewer is going to be the only one that's going to work unless everybody else, gets on the stick and fixes that.
Well, everybody, man, I tell you what, you need to get over there and check this out Saturday. I hate to cut you off like that, but man, was that great. We talk about everything from BDSM to scripting to what's going on. It's going to be a great show. Check it out Saturday. I'll have it up for you all. And Walter is a very knowledgeable man and cool character. So, hey, let's head on over to the Gspot, man. And to the top of the Gspot today, you got Nora Malone. That's right, man. She's got some really cool stuff. That is a really cool picture there. And don't forget, tomorrow they got Celtic Maiden over there. And, I can't read that other one. So, Zaffo and Enoch has originally a thing about Dorian over there. Dorian over there at the Dorian's World Grid there. Got some really cool stuff. The Emotion, that's right. And we got a little bit of destinations and freebies over there in New Iflum. That's right. Really cool stuff. More Nora Malone. Hey, sexy Nora. It's got some really cool looking fashion going on, man. That's right. Ain, what's going on? Yes, cool looking. Really some cool looking picture, man. Cellophane. That's definitely plastic wraps me up. Some more of that, more of that. Hey, the bud. Stop bitching, stop dishing, start learning opensim. You ain't seen nothing yet. Engine Lab, you know it, man. That's right. Mine there's got some really cool sound of music. Hey, that is really cool. And mine there. Hey. What else we got going over here? Dimitris, hey, he's got something really cool from Slackware, guys. Got a little revolution on the OS GNU. That's right. Mine there's got something really cool. Oh, still going on. Some more of that. Double the music up. Valerie Locks really got some cool looking poetry going on. That's right. That is some cool stuff, man. And, of course, my show from yesterday. Wow, that is really, 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 really cool, man. Hey, you guys. That's it for the Gspot today. That's right. I muted a lot of stuff, so that's a short one today. I guarantee you it's a short one today because I do that a lot of times when I get a lot of spam in there. And so, sorry if you missed it, but that's the Gspot. Well, that's it, everybody. Today we're out of time. Don't have time for any news. And if you didn't see any scrolling across the bottom, that meant it was too hard to copy and paste in here. If you guys want your stuff to scroll across the bottom, make it easy for me to make it easy for you. Hey, everybody, you all have a great day. DJ Adams 01 time. We're out of here.